To Singapore now, where Asia's top security summit, the Shangri-La Dialogue, is underway. Front and center has been the chilly relationship between the United States and China. The U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd said Washington would not stand any coercion and bullying of its allies and partners by China. He added that the U.S. remains committed to maintaining the status quo of Taiwan. Austin stressed his preference for dialogue over conflict with Beijing, despite China's national defense minister declining an invitation to talk with him. Speaking at the summit, a senior Chinese military official reiterated China's indisputable sovereignty over the South China Sea islands and the adjacent waters, and stressed that Taiwan is an inalienable part of China's sovereign territory. DW Chief Political Correspondent Nina Haza is at the Shangri-La Dialogue defense meeting in Singapore. Hi, Nina. You've been covering the German defense minister's delegation at the conference there. What's his position on the dispute over Taiwan?
Well, the official German government position is a one-China policy when it comes to the issue of Taiwan. So that means there are no official diplomatic relations with Taiwan. But essentially, what it boils down to is the question, where does Germany stand on China? And of course, here, Germany is sending two different messages. Now, it wants to be seen as an interested and active party when it comes to doing its share to maintaining peace and stability in this region and in Taiwan in particular. But these two messages that they're sending to China are interesting. They say, essentially, we want to uphold our trade relationship. We want to continue talking to you. We don't call it decoupling what we're trying to do, but we will try and reduce our economic dependency. Essentially, they're saying to the Chinese, look, we've learned our big lessons from our enormous economic dependencies on Russia that were a huge mistake. So now we're trying to diversify, but don't take it personally, this is not against you, unless, and this is the second message, unless, of course, you violate international law. And in Germany's eyes, that would be the case if China were to invade Taiwan. Now, what Germany would do exactly if that were to happen, that is something that they're very careful not to say in public, because they want to keep those channels of communication with Taiwan and China open. But Boris Pistorius, the German defense minister, is here in Singapore, and he did meet with Chinese General Li Shangfu, and we'll probably hear from him later on in the day to hear what they discussed at that meeting.
As you're well aware, a record number of EU diplomats are attending the Shangri-La defense meeting this year. How do you explain the increased interest in security issues in Asia?
Well, the Netherlands, Sweden, Estonia, Germany, they've all sent their defense ministers here. The EU's foreign affairs chief, Josep Borrell, is also here, as is the UK's Ben Wallace. So, yes, there are a lot of European defense ministers and officials here at this meeting, because Europeans are not just those with a colonial legacy in this region. They have understood just how vitally important this region is going to be for global security in the next couple of years and decades. This is a very fast-growing region when it comes to the economy, but also in terms of population size. So many of these countries here are becoming very important geopolitical players. And of course, Europeans at home are busy dealing with Russia's war against Ukraine. And they're also here to rally support for their stands to get as many Asian countries as possible to help fight to uphold multilateralism and international law and condemn Russia's actions.
DW Chief Political Correspondent Nina Haza, thank you.